Okay, so 2017 is done from the world of WWE. So let's kind of talk about it. I'm going to do this, try to do it as much as I can by divisions. There's a lot of overlap. So, and I'll try to hit some of the bigger points that happened. So I think we'll start off first and foremost with the SmackDown tag team belts. The nice thing about that is, there hasn't been a lot of teams that actually have held the SmackDown belts, which is nice. So we actually began the year with American Alpha having the SmackDown tag belts. They actually beat the Wyatt family at like the very last SmackDown. So almost a year ago to the day I'm doing this video. They lost to the Usos. Usos lost to New Day. New Day lost them to Usos. Usos back to New Day. And then Usos beat the New Day. So ironically, the SmackDown tag division, when it was just the Usos and American Alpha, actually worked pretty well. American Alpha didn't quite gel as well as everyone had hoped. And then, of course, with Jason Jordan being revealed as Kurt Angle's illegitimate son. That then led to Gable having to join forces with Shelton Benjamin once it was finally cleared. And ironically, a lot of the SmackDown tag division, beyond it being the amazing matches between the Usos and New Day, I still love reading how they were on, I think it was a SummerSlam kickoff show, and they had probably the best match of the night. Their match in a Hell in a Cell, beautiful visuals when it came to using the kendo sticks, to hold somebody inside the cage. Those two teams brought it every single time, period. Also saw Rowan and Harper get repackaged as the Bludgeon Brothers. Not bad, it's serviceable for what they're doing. We also got to see Breezango rechristened the Faction Police, doing killer vignettes. Be slaughtered in the ring, but doing killer vignettes. And then we actually saw the Hype Bros reform and then get dissolved. Ironically, when Mojo Rawley was the person who actually won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, lastly eliminating Jinder Mahal. But Jinder didn't go on to do much. I'll get to that later. And the Ascension is now kind of like the comedic best friends of Faction Police. Ironically, they're making that work. And this is one of those things where dumb things in wrestling get over. Rusev Day in English, Rusev Day. So let's make keep New Day and Rusev Day. It's actually not a bad division because you've got enough teams that can just flat out go and have the crowd behind them. So, hey, cool. Now we have the Raw side of things. Raw side of things, a bit more difficult to try to go through this, probably because, we'll talk about the tag division first and foremost. The big thing that happened with them had to be the breakup of Enzo and Big Cass. Enzo and Big Cass were a money-making tag team that never won matches. They then did this big thing of, who's the person beating up Enzo? They revealed Big Cass. Big Cass then destroyed Enzo, and then destroyed Enzo again. And then Big Show got involved, and then Big Cass got injured, and Enzo went to be in a cruiserweight. Now we get to go to the Raw belts proper. Sheamus and Cesaro to the club. Now, Anderson and Gallows came in with some fanfare, but just had never really been able to fully click very well. I get the joke. And then they had the ladder match at WrestleMania when the Hardy Men showed up. Even though they're both dads, the Hardy dads showed up. And they end up winning the belts, which is pretty sick. And then it went to Sheamus and Cesaro again. And then to the 2/3 reformed Shield of Rollins and Ambrose I will say that was an amazing build-up for the two of them. The whole, like, I'm ready to put the fist down. I'm not ready for the fist down. We're going to shake hands, I'm going to give you a hug. Fist out? See, now I'm not ready for the fist out now. And that was that great story, but we're going to slowly kind of just work through this. And it worked well. Especially when they went, of course, going into Survivor Series, when it was time for the champions to face each other. Having the New Day kind of get involved and kind of screwing Rollins and Ambrose on the titles, put the titles on Sheamus and Cesaro. So then Sheamus and Cesaro get to face the Usos. Which also led to the amazing match of seeing the triple threat of the three-man team of New Day versus The Shield, which was a fantastic match. And then, most recently, we had Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins become tag champs. So almost a year to the day, Jason Jordan was a SmackDown champ, and I was a Raw tag champ. So one day he too will get a plaque a la Charlotte Flair. So now we'll talk about the Cruiserweight belts. We'll start with the Cruiserweight division. I think this is where good wrestlers go to finish their career in the E. Which is sad. Austin Aries, Neville. Solid series of matches. It really felt like Aries should have got the belt at some point in time, but he didn't. Oh well. At least he got a banana over and he helped to get some of the crowd invested into the characters. Neville eventually loses the title to Enzo Amore, who then kind of says, if you face me, if you hit me, you're going to lose your chance at the title. Okay. It got eyes on 205 Live. Jack Gallagher went from being the weird, odd Irish Englishman, like, you know, with the umbrella and all that, who got to get involved in the Royal Rumble match, which is weird that they very infrequently let cruiserweights get involved in other divisions when they just should. I think there's some money to be made in watching Roman Reigns host an open challenge match against Cedric Alexander or Mustafa Ali, or either of those guys facing off against The Miz for the title. I mean, there's a lot of those guys. I mean, Kalisto, former U.S. champion. So, of course, everyone couldn't have a match with Enzo. But then they signed Kalisto. Kalisto beats Enzo, and then loses to Enzo. Enzo then takes all the heel and makes the Zo train. Zo! Gives them all kind of cool names. Drew Gulak shaved his beard, and then became a slime politician with PowerPoints. And even Jericho has to bow down to the glory of the PowerPoint. PowerPoint almost has supplanted that of the list. Hideo Itami is now on 205 Live, which is probably where he will end his career at the E. Because both Aries and Neville have left. So now on to the women's divisions. They will be going into a Royal Rumble, which I think it's weird that they keep on talking about I'm putting my name in for the Royal Rumble, when in order to hit 30, practically every single woman has to be in the Rumble. Just saying. So, we begin the time of SmackDown. Alexa Bliss is champion. Drops to Naomi. Naomi gets injured. Bliss champion again. Naomi champion again. Naomi gets defeated by Natalya. Charlotte Flair beats Natalya. Charlotte Flair, at this point in time, now has held the NXT Women's Champion, the Divas Champion, Raw and SmackDown. And she's the only one who could, with the exception of Paige. Now, their division, actually what helped them was the Money in the Bank. Now, I know people didn't like the Money in the Bank because James Ellsworth got involved in it, but that was kind of historic, putting them in this massive ladder match. Was it booked the best? No, but ladder matches are normally booked kind of awkward. If I'm climbing a ladder, I'm gonna go first rung. Still like 8 feet away. Second rung. Still can't reach it. Third rung. Still just out of my reach. Fourth rung. Hitting the bottom of the case now. Almost to the top of the ladder. I am fully holding on to the case now. Oh no. Everyone has gotten up. I'm going to fall now. But that division it had some good moments. They got the Riot Squad. Sarah Logan needs more character. Liv Morgan. Seems awkward to have both Liv Morgan and Carmella. Very, very, very similar gimmicks. Lana tried. It didn't work out. Now she's a manager for Tamina Crush. Becky Lynch is out filming The Marine 6? I think it's 6. And they picked up Charlotte. They swapped Charlotte for Bliss. I'm fine with that. Now pick up the Riot Squad. Ruby Riott, probably one of the most formed female characters to come out of NXT. Next to like Asuka. So they've got some potential. Charlotte, current champ. Cool. I like the way that's going with that division. They did a lot of multi-person matches. They had a lot of weirdness to it, but they've got the proper things to make it work. With only having 2 hours, they don't need to do a lot of matches. That's why they do the multi-person matches a lot. But they've got at least a storyline going in from the Riot Squad all the way up into Royal Rumble. So they've got time to figure out what to do with the title, who's going to end up facing off against Charlotte. Now, onto the Raw side of things. We start with Charlotte as champ. Drops it to Bayley. Fine. Bayley drops it to Bliss. Bliss to Banks, Banks to Bliss, because, you know, Banks can't have, like, accessible title defense. Ironically, now, Raw was almost entirely Alexa Bliss, who has great promo skills. Nice, fully developed character, really came into her own during her time on SmackDown. But we really missed having that really solid feud between Banks and Bliss. There's the potential of them having great promos and great matches. And instead we get kind of okay matches and just promos that just don't live up to how good they both are. But it is unique that you had Bliss as champion on one show, Ends of Year as champion on the other show, Charlotte, and then Charlotte. Now, of course, they picked up Absolution, which makes me think of, was it Lenny? Is Lenny Lang? Old WCW jobber who actually had like a little spray bottle. They sprayed it with Absolution. He grabbed it on his like 6-pack. Sweating at the Absolution. Picking up Paige, glad she's back, glad she's healthy, Del Rio free. As well as Mandy Rose, who I think if she gets a little better in the ring, she has the potential of being this generation's Trish Stratus. She has all the physical tools you could need. She's built incredibly well. You can tell that she puts a lot of time into her body. And you know, for the time she's spent doing this industry, she's actually pretty good in the ring. And of course, Sonya Deville. Put your hair up and square up. Now, if her character works well, that they can establish it, It'll greatly help Shayna Baszler when she makes a jump to the main roster. Then you have two kind of mixed martial arts based characters. I'm really I'll also have to pick up Asuka. I really want to see a solid feud between I almost said Daria Baronado, between Sonya Deville and Asuka. I think those two with their styles, both having a striking submission background, could put on some great matches. And with the addition of Paige, good on the mic. She's got some rust to her, but you can tell she's coming back. Plus, from having neck fusion surgery, you can tell she needs some time to kind of just get comfortable in the ring again. But both women's divisions are actually in pretty good positions where they were at the beginning part of the year. Now we get to some of the more bizarre ones. I actually do have the lists of champions because it makes it easier instead of trying to remember every single thing that happened in the course of a year. IC's pretty easy. Ready? Here we go. Miz, Dean, Miz, Roman. Now, Roman had other things going on the majority of the year. Other two Shield brothers had titles, and he was like, I need a title. Hey, Miz has got a title, and then he killed Miz for the belt. Roman, of course, spent the majority of his year having an amazing feud with Braun Strowman, having matches with Samoa Joe, and getting involved in stuff with Lesnar. Which, you know what? That's a solid year for him. I like him having the IC title. Do I care the rest of his back? Heels have done it. I prefer the shoulder mount, if anything else, but hey. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. If he wants to be like, I'm carrying the vision on my back, cool. I do think that the white strap on like the full black and red like Sith Lord body gear looks pretty sweet. Now Dean, of course, feuded with The Miz, while at the same time kind of had an on again, off again with Rollins, let it become a tag champ. And The Miz, who of course was Rolling Stone's 2017 Wrestler of the Year, spent some time heading towards WrestleMania to take on a B-list actor in a very high-profile match. Of course, Miz and Maryse lost said match to kind of middle-of-the-road, goofy movie star who then took the time to propose to his reality star girlfriend. But The Miz got the ultimate prize. He gonna be a daddy. And I'll be honest, there's enough genetic material to make a really amazing child when it comes to the world of entertainment, period. Miz, great work ethic, solid mic skills, decent in the ring. Maryse, you know what? She was solid in the ring too. Had a fully formed character back in the time the women actually were given decent lengths for matches. And it's very attractive. So you take two attractive people who are both good at their craft, their offspring, unless twins taught us anything, you have Schwarzenegger and DeVito, there's a good chance that child is going to be fantastic in the world of entertainment. Be it sports, acting, modeling, design. That kid has got the whole world in his hands, literally. You don't think it's a girl. Either way, Mini Miz is going to do phenomenally well, period. So of course, we can't talk about one without talking about the other belt. So now let's go all the way down here. What happened with the U.S. title? Oh man. Here we go. It's like an Alexa Bliss Charlotte thing here. Roman to Jericho to Owens to Jericho to Owens to Styles to Owens to Styles to Corbin to Ziggler to fake it Yes, this year vacant was both the United States champion and the SmackDown Women's champion. This belt became a workhorse title. Watching Jericho and Owens have their amazing blood feud at the beginning portion of the year, and then Owens and Styles having a feud that wasn't anywhere near as good as it should have been. And then Baron Corbin win it in a triple threat match with Styles and Dillinger. To then lose it in a triple threat match with Bobby Roode and Ziggler. The Ziggler dropping the belt and walking out. It was put in a good position. Especially when, let's talk about the WWE Championship. You know, nice mid-card belt. It changed hands a lot. But then again, if your show has got, if you have the option of having like Jericho, Owens, Styles, yeah, hop the other belt, those guys. They're all solid workers. It makes sense. It's good for business. And of course, Owens got to do his, Face of America gimmick, which had potential, but just didn't quite seem to fully gel. Sorry. Universal title. Owens to Goldberg, Lesnar. That's it. There you go. The Goldberg-Owens bit got to also work into the Jericho feud, which is fine. And when it came to Brock defeating Goldberg in just it was like a kaiju battle. It was impactful, it was dynamic, it was short, it was to the point. Everyone left happy. It rinsed out the taste of their match that they had over a decade ago that was horrible. And of course, Goldberg got to win the championship in front of his son. Great watershed moment. What did Lesnar do the rest of the year? Lesnar then got to have his pick of the litter. He had a solid match with Joe, but beat Joe 1-5. He had a non-excited match with Braun Strowman. He had a match where he took on like everybody. Where it was Joe, Strowman, as well as having Reigns in there. And they put on some great matches. The Universal title went from like, alright, take it off Owens, put on Gold beef, out of Brock beef. Well, he's probably like free-range bison that he strangles by hand. And it was just, alright, big dudes, just do big dude, just Haas. With some guy in the background being like, I was first Universal Champion. Finn Balor? Too sweet. Crowd stand for me. I want a shot at my Universal title. I want it to be the Beast versus the Demon. Crowd like, yeah! And then they went, what's wrong? Finn, you need like 80 pounds of just raw beef on you. You don't quite fit in with the rest of these guys. But I beat Samoa Joe. Yeah. I beat Roman Reigns. Yeah, no. You're gonna have a different feud. Great. Come back now for WrestleMania. Who am I gonna feud with? It's gonna be the Beast Brock Lesnar. Will it be the Miz? Elias Sampson. Then you're loose to Kane. You have a feud with Bray Wyatt. Awesome. Bray Wyatt feud. Here we go. Sister Abigail versus the Demon. I think it was Mumps. That's fine. Demon Finn Balor versus AJ Styles in barn burner match. Oh, that match was ridiculous. Shows when you go, we take two guys, make a dream match, produce. And now he's beating up The Miz to Raj. What I'm hoping for. Hear me out on this. As the march towards the Great War, because Matt Hardy is not woken, that when he comes to get his woken warriors, wow, what he will do is he will enlist the aid of a demon, the demon Finn Balor, as well as the enigmatic Jeff Hardy. And those three will wage war against the Wyatts. Yes, I would bring back the Bludgeon Brothers to be like a Wyatt family just for that one bit. Because I'm in the minority, but I saw Pumpkinhead Finn Balor and like Dirty Drag Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail, and I went, you know what? Do it. Do it. Do it. Just do it. They're like, I'm into the skid. Just cut that wheel. Go as crazy as you want to go with it. Never have it. I still want to have it happen. I want to see Bray and Dirty Drag. Sister Abigail. Tiki on Finn Balor dressed like a pumpkin. I do. I think it's going to be great, but I want to see it. I want to see my two guys in alter egos fighting. You know, seeing Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent have a conversation. Superman versus Batman? I'm cooler with that. Just saying. And now into the penultimate. The WWE Championship. Start with AJ. AJ had an amazing match with John Cena. John Cena became a 16-time champion. John Cena then lost the belt to need to dust my room more often. To Bray Wyatt at the Elimination Chamber. Yeah, it was too late, and the way the E was chopped, so I couldn't get the one with the little square. But that's who he lost the belt to. Which was cool, because who won the Royal Rumble? Randy Orton. And Norton and Bray had this weird sort of like master-apprentice thing going on. And at the same time, Harper was on the wicked come-up in that time. And then, he finally made it to WrestleMania. Orton, Wyatt. It was like people were hoping we were going to see Darth Vader versus the Emperor. It was going to be Master versus Apprentice. And instead we got Kylo Ren versus Snoke. Just with Bray Wyatt summoning all the power to Sister Abigail to make creepy crawlies appear on the ring. Which I thought was kind of cool at the time. And then one RKO later, and uber god level Bray Wyatt was felled by Randy Orton. But that's okay, because then they had a House of Horrors match. Where Randy Orton was taken out by a refrigerator, but then teleported to the arena to face off against Bray. But then Jinder Mahal got involved with the Singh brothers. Yes, Jinder Mahal, the guy who, before WrestleMania, was losing to Mojo Rawley and lost to Memorial Battle Royal to Mojo Rawley. That's okay, because people thought, nah, this is a throwaway feud, he's number contenders, it'd be fine. And then he beat Orton. And then people were like, alright, it's a fluke, Orton's gonna win. Now we got Pujaya Prison match. Oh, okay, but this is gonna... Is that the Great Khali? But it's okay, because Baron Corbin has the briefcase. He failed the briefcase cash in, because John Cena. Okay. Who's he facing now? Shinsuke Nakamura. Awesome. Nakamura's going to kick Jinder's head off, and he's going to lose a bunch of matches because of the Bollywood boys on the outside of the ring. Okay. Jinder's going to cut racist heel promos that aren't really good. Oh, okay. But Sheena's going to look good. Nope. She's not going to look good. Okay. Alright. Great. We're going to see Jinder Mahal taking on Brock Lesnar. Survives. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Maybe if Brock channels, the John Cena SummerSlam match, and like, all right, here's the thing we're gonna do, Brock. Yeah, scratch it. I'm gonna suplex you till I get tired, and then I'm gonna hit you at F5. But I want to. Shh. Quiet, Jinder. Quiet. Brock Lesnar. Here's the fight's gonna go. You're going to get a little bit of offense, you're going to throw a punch, I'm going to duck, and I'm going to German suplex you. Until I get blown up. Then give you one single F5. And you're going to lay there. And I'm going to leave. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to look back in the ring. You better still be selling that. Well, do you want to see Brock Lesnar go down the ring in a towel? I will humble you in that ring. And Vince is going to just throw money at me because that's what he does. We were saved by a phenomenal one who beat Jinder Mahal, who went on to have another absolutely phenomenal match with Brock Lesnar. Brock went like, Jinder? I don't care. Take it on AJ. Brock, are you okay? Oh, I'm going to work with him. I'm looking forward to working with him. I like working with Joe. Joe fights snug. Joe's a big dude. AJ fights snug. He's a fast guy. A lot of agility, a lot of stamina. Looking forward to that. Then AJ had a little bit of feud with Jinder, beat him. Cool. So, for that title, that went through the ringer. Man, there were some dumb things to do with that title. But AJ's champ, all is well. So all in all, there were some rough patches where storylines didn't make sense, but at the exact same time, when you look at it from just the main roster standpoint, they've got, if you don't watch the main event, if you had a main event, you're at about almost 7 hours a week of matches of television. That's a lot to try to do and to make everything successful. More often than not, it's successful. But the problem is the things that they do well, they do okay. The things that they do poorly, they do horribly. But overall, this year could have been much, much worse. All in all, out of 10, I give it 6. Good 6. Could have been better. Could have been a lot worse. I give it a good 6. Some solid moments. Some moments came in. You go, Injuries really hurt, and I think the small amount of people actually leaving also hurt them too.